Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. And how are you doing today? I've been looking back at my videos and I always seem to say busy, 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 busy. And I think life has been busy for everybody, right? But it's also fall. I was talking to one of my friends and she said as much as she's going to miss her cucumbers, she told them, freeze, baby, freeze, because she's done canning. She's done with the garden. She's just done. Yeah, I totally agree with her. It's kind of how I felt about the tomatoes. Just freeze. I don't care. The chickens will clean them up. Yeah, we'll let them in the garden pretty soon here after we finish getting potatoes and squash out. Yes, then they can have at it. Oh, but yeah, why is there so much to do? You know, why is there just so much to do? I don't know. And then there's those kids, like my youngest, who just kind of roll through life. He just rolls. So interesting. Very interesting. This week, what we're doing is Woodgrain soaps. I guess that's the thing you do in the fall. I guess I do them anytime I feel like doing them, which makes sense, right? So that is what we're doing today. We're starting with one, which is my spiced mahogany Woodgrain soap. It is an accelerating fragrance oil. I probably won't do it as a wood grain anymore. You will see why. So 3 things: dream big, be true to you, you are worth it, and let's go check out this spiced mahogany Woodgrain soap. Okay, and to our soap, spiced mahogany. I did this as a wood grain earlier this year sometime. I don't remember when. But knowing the fragrance oil is going to accelerate and going to be fun to work with, I did not mix that. I mixed it to just barely mixed. It's barely emulsion. So I am pouring off equal amounts of each color. There are 4 colors and then a base color, meaning it won't be colored. It's just gonna discolor to whatever color the soap wants to discolor to. You know what I mean? And then there is and the fragrance oil. Because the fragrance oil has such a low usage rate, I only put it into the colors. Why would I do that? I don't know. It worked really well the last time I did this. It worked really well. Like, it's got great scent retention, and even though it's a low percent, I don't know. So I did that again. So colors, we have vibrant orange. Okay, no, that's Fire Cider. So that's Fire Cider by Nurture Soap. The first one is Vibrant Orange by Nurture Soap. This color right here is black activated charcoal. There's no oxides in there. It's just black activated charcoal. And maybe I should have went with the black oxide, just a little bit in there. I don't know. Sometimes activated charcoal can be funny. And then, of course, the titanium dioxide that went into that bowl right there with no scent. Okay, no fragrance oil in the titanium dioxide. So, it can help speed everything along in that area. The thing I did different, which I mentioned I was going to try, was pouring the fragrance oil in after the colors were mixed up. I thought this would help. I've seen other soapers do it, and I thought this would help it not get quite so chunky so fast. Yeah, I don't know if it made a difference. I actually think it was worse. I'm not positive, but I just feel like it was worse. And maybe I can't say I swirled the colors when they were too thin, but I mean, it does go from thin to thick within, a minute. It doesn't seem to take it long. I get it in the bowl, and you want to do the the pour and it's looking chunky. Yeah. I mean, I didn't mix the fragrance up a ton either, just enough to, get it incorporated because it's going to have lots of movement, lots of places to go where there's no fragrance anyway, because it's half the soap is fragranced, half the soap is not. So just a typical bowl swirl. I know a lot of soapers do not use this when they do a wood grain pour. It does work though. It does work. I've done this many times, and if I would cut the soap correctly, you'd see a wood grain pour. I usually cut it and it's that other way, It just looks like it's all together and pretty and, at a slant. But anyway, this is real time, so this is how slow I am pouring it to try and make sure that I get it in my mold and nice thin stripes, for the wood. And I mean, okay, so look at the activated charcoal, you guys. It's not pretty at all. Like there's that little bit, but that's why I was saying I might have to change it to black oxide, or add some black oxide in there. This was some chunky monkey stuff, so I just tried to pull it apart a little bit, give it some more room to breathe, and didn't want to mix it up too much, but just pulled some of those chunks apart. So crazy how it accelerates and how chunky it gets, but the fragrance is all worth it. Like this fragrance oil is very stellar. Like I like it, right? It's what I would use. I mean, even though it's a masculine scent, blah blah blah, it's very woodsy, and I don't know, it's got some good spices in it, some good spicy tones. Maybe that's what it is, spiced mahogany. But that was my point. But my lines are nice and thin. They are nice, and those chunks can be, I don't even have to work for knots on the wood, those chunks do it all. My top wasn't very pretty. I just like you see, I scraped the bowl down, and I was going to try and mix it in. I should have put it on the other side because it ended up being a little higher, and it was so thick already. I mean, it doesn't look thick, it acts thick, that I didn't want to, when I tried to like swirl it in, it just didn't want to do it. So I had to pop it. But there it is. I see the top. And since I'm cutting this a totally different way, I just wanted to get my edges, because it was in my wood mold, I wanted to get my edges nice and fairly smooth. So that's all I'm doing here is cutting this just a smidge, right? Just to get my edges, okay. And then I was going to try and do something fun with my mold. I thought, I can just, take it apart. Not my mold. With my cutter, I'll just take it apart, and it will work for me. No, because that's not how this works. So I have to cut it at 3-inch increments. So I'm cutting 3-inch chunks off the bar, which will give me 3 by 2.5 by 1 when I cut it horizontally. It will be 1. However, this didn't work. So I had to take my mold apart and I had to put it all the way back together. So I brought out my other soap cutter. It worked. It's not how I did the next wood grain, but it worked. So I'm cutting him because it's a 12 whatever mold, right? 12 1/4, I think, is what my brother did, because he doesn't know how to measure. No, I'm kidding. I'm so thankful for him. So I may tease him that he got it 12 1/4 instead of 12 1/2, but it works for me. I'm so blessed to have him. So I just like to tease him about it. But so it comes to 3-inch bars along the top, okay? And that right there is what it would look like if I cut them all like I normally cut them, but I'm not, okay? So for this cut, I'm going to cut them down. Okay, so you can cut them like down from the top down, but you're cutting them at a different angle, right? A different, they're sitting different. But I think I'm cutting them 1, 2, 3, like so horizontally is how I am cutting them. There's my top, and I'm going to cut it horizontally. Yeah, because they're only 2.5 inches wide. So I need to cut from the top down. And it's super crazy, but I have to sit there and think about it so many times before I do it. And don't forget, I was messing with my soap cutter because I had to redo it. But so these are getting cut horizontally across the bar. Horizontally, okay? Not top down, one way or the other. Horizontally, to give it the wood grain look. See? I guess I don't really pay attention to wood around here. Our pine trees are scraggly. The cottonwood trees, I don't know. My dad would have known. He was into wood, he had his oak, that he liked for trim, and he had, if he was around, I guess I could have asked him how bad these looked, but it's okay. I just love the scent. It was fun to do a wood grain, after watching Mrs. Clay. Oh, if you want to go watch Mrs. Soap and Clay's little, what do you call those? Her little series on wood grain. So cool. Oh, it was the soap. Yeah, soap way challenge. That's what it was. Yeah, mine wouldn't have been picked, but that's okay. They turned out cute. They're not so bad. They're not that bad. They're very cute. And like I said, the scent stands for itself. It really does. Just a beautiful, beautiful scent. I mean, I would use these bars. I'm pretty sure they're made for a masculine scent, but very beautiful, very nice. I was just trimming the ones that were on top, which is why it looks so white on top, because it kind of got muddy, which is unbelievable being they were so chunky, but see, not too shabby at all. There's my other one I had fixed. I was gonna say, I thought there was one more, but yeah. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, most people would be like, it's not wood grain, but it's definitely, it definitely turned out, considering it was an accelerated fragrance oil and all that jazz. And this is the delightful fragrance description for these beautiful bars. And here's the one right after I cut it. And you'll notice in this one that there's definitely more white shining through. So I hope you had a good time. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.